Hello everybody, my name is Mr. Creepy Legend and welcome to today's video, which is another episode of Searching for Sasquatch. And in today's episode, we are going to be looking at the case of the Great Bigfoot attack on 4 miners, also known as the Ape Canny Incident. Fred Back and a group of 4 men were gold prospecting in Ape Canyon, Mount St. Helens, Washington in the Lewis River area when they began to notice evidence of visitors around their cabin. Some very large human-like footprints were discovered, and they had been hearing noises at night around the area. They claimed to have heard thumping noises that sounded like chest thumping, and one said they had heard a strange high-pitched whistling sound on one ridge above them, only to hear another whistle on the opposite ridge. When Beck and another one of the men went down to a nearby spring for water, they caught sight of a large ape-like creature staring at them from behind a large pine tree. It was said to be very dark brown in color, and they estimated to be about 7 feet tall. It ducked behind the tree and then poked its head out to watch them again. One of the men raised his rifle and took a shot at the creature and believed he grazed its head, but it ran away and ducked out of sight. Beck claimed to have seen another one as it stood along a canny wall. He has said that he shot it in the back and watched it fall into a gorge. The men may have thought the incident was over, but they nevertheless planned to leave the area the next morning just in case, so they hunkered down that night with their rifles at hand. As darkness fell and the men were tuckered away inside their cabins, all was quiet. They were later awakened by an enormous thud against the cabin wall, and something chucking from between the logs fell into one of the men's lap. They all grabbed their rifles, and a loud rustling was heard outside along with a trampling of large, heavy feet. One of the men pierced outside from between the logs. He caught sight of what he believed to be 3 creatures, but from the sounds they heard, they believed there were many more. The creatures were pouncing on the walls and doors of the cabin and throwing rocks onto the roof in an attempt to break in, and frighteningly one of the creatures stuck its arm through a hole in an attempt to grab an axe without success. Luckily for these men, they had built the cabin sternly for winter and it had no windows. The creatures were unable to break in. The attack continued through the long night with only short intervals of quiet, and the men claimed they shot at them only when they were being attacked, and they stopped shooting when it got quiet, hoping the creatures would soon learn that shooting would stop when the attack stopped. After about 5 hours of assault, the creatures finally gave up in the early morning hours. At daylight, the men finally went outside, only to find a strip of wood torn from between the 2 logs of the cabin and the numerous large footprints all over. They left the area quickly, leaving much of their equipment behind. Later, the men agreed not to tell the story to anyone, but one of the men leaked the story and the press got wind of it. Then others began hunting around the area for the apes. It was called the Great Ape Hunt of 1924. Beck continually swore to tell the truth of his story. The canyon was named Ape Canny after the incident took place. So let me know what you guys thought about this story. Do you guys believe this is a true event that actually happened? If you do or you don't, please let me know down in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching the 4th episode of Searching for Sasquatch, and I will see you guys all in the next video. Goodbye!